All right, ready when you are.
All right, give me just a moment. Sorry, I'm like
No
in the
worries.
middle of driving. I'm actually on my way to into the meeting room, so give me just a moment. All right. Welcome everyone. Thank you for attending I believe this is our second board meeting for this year. I'd like to call the meeting to order at about 2:01 p.m. Could I get a roll call for all the board members? I guess starting with myself, Chris Rosario, present. Joe Santos.
Present.
For an education or
Okay.
presentation.
Okay. Norma Castellan.
Present.
Okay. We got Frank Santos
Present.
and Bill McDonald.
Present.
Great. We have a quorum. All right. Do you need some time to accept the meeting minutes? Anyone want to make a motion?
I move to adopt the minutes of what is it, October 14th?
I like it because it's under
Correct.
museum
October
with technical
14th.
corrections.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one correction.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead, Mr. Frank.
I kind of talked about Temple Grandin and the Spur University, and they put me down for some type of gardening technique or something on that.
Repeat that again, Mr. Frank. I'm sorry.
Okay, when they asked for the remarks on what we had on the trip, and one of the impacts that I gave was that the Spur University, which was part of the tour, and that I was interested in the Temple Garden principles and the Spur University in itself.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Savannah, would you be able to add that into meeting minutes?
Yes. I'm
Thank
sorry, but
you.
I'll make sure to revisit the recording and add that.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Savannah.
Savannah.
We agree.
Do we have the staff? Did we? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Do we call the staff up?
Yep.
Who's present?
Yes, actually, that's that would be my next thing. Can I get the staff roll call? Jenna, would you be able to conduct the roll call for your staff?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
District Manager Jenalyn Abanales, present. Conservation Technician Savannah Garcia, present. Conservation Technician Javen Cruz, present. And Outreach Specialist Rosanna Rosario. Present.
All right. Sorry, I had just left the Zoom meeting. I've arrived at UOG. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with officers' reports. Oh wait, did we already move the meeting minutes?
Okay.
We needed someone to second the meeting minutes. I believe the meeting minutes were already first motioned by Director Joe Santos. Anyone second it?
Second.
I'll second.
Great. Director Norma makes the second motion. All right. I guess do we make a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right. So next topic, officers' reports. Do the district chair's report. So the first one I wanted to mention is in this district chair's report, I'd like to appoint the sergeant at arms. Considering that 4 out of the 5 board members do have a considering that the board members there's 4 board members who have positions out of the 5. I'd like to appoint a 5th position, which would be a sergeant at arms. I'd like to call up Mr. Joe Santos to be may I appoint Mr. Joe Santos to be sergeant at arms? Mr. Joe Santos, Director Joe, would you like to accept this? Or anybody else would like to discuss?
Chair, I think I can nominate Joe Santos as the sergeant at arms, and then somebody could second.
I'll go ahead and second.
Okay. So the motion made by Director Norma Castillon to nominate Joe Santos as sergeant at arms. The second.
And then here's how we
Wait.
if we had.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm in a meeting that I'm involved in. First of all, you don't need a sergeant at arms. The positions that are critical to the organization is the only thing required by law is the vice and the chair itself, because the law says that these positions will exist. Now, under Robert Rules of Order, you can create those various positions, but the 2 positions that are necessary are the treasurer and the secretary. And this is why you hire staff to just monitor those particular areas or the specifics of those particular things. The sergeant at arms is just there to make sure they create order. But there's 5 of us. If we can't turn around and be civil with each other, then there's a problem. The sergeant at arms is mostly when you have a larger organization, not an organization like us. We only have 5 individuals. And if we can't be civil with each other, then there's a problem. But I'm just saying that on the sergeant at arms, you don't need that position.
Okay, well, we did, however, the nomination was set forward for you to accept the position. So would you like to accept the position?
No, not really, but okay, go ahead. I'm not sure why, but okay.
Hey, Chair, Joe, I think the chair was basically just pulling up this position just in case in the future we have someone in place that could keep some sort of order, just in case. I mean, we've run into that in the past where we needed somebody to kind of like, catch the overflow of too much comments and, harsh words. So, I mean, it's not for all the time, but if it's needed, okay? I think that's the only reason why they wanted somebody.
No worry. Okay, let's just move forward with that.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Director Joe.
Okay, great. So at 2:09, Director Joe Santos accepts the nominee for sergeant at arms. Thank you, Director Joe Santos. Let's go ahead and move on forward with the annual joint board meeting. So the report out on so we really want to know how it went. Oops. Is that me? Oh, sorry. That's my watch talking to me. I apologize. So the Northern Guam board meeting, we really need to discuss the joint committees. We want to know what's relevant or not in our committees. I know we have our committee reports. If you take a look down below, where we have all the committees that you see down below, which is education and outreach,
operations, budget, policy, groundwater, a watershed, land restoration. So we really need to discuss in this meeting to see what is relevant or not. Because the fiscal year 27 budget with Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District needs to be submitted to UOG at least by the end of December. Right, end of December. And yeah, we really, again, I wanted to discuss what are the committees that are relevant. Anyways, yeah, so specifically the joint committees. So let's see, do we have the list of joint committees? These are, well, we got hold on, I need to figure out let me try and get the list of joint committees that we have with the Southern Soil and Water District right now. Okay, so the first committee I wanted to ask if or to see if, again, we need to discuss which was relevant or not. So the Soil and Water Conservation District Long Range Planning Committee. So as you all may know already, in the annual joint committee, there was a question of some of these, whether how heavily we are involved with the committee. So I know in the last working group, or the last planning committee, the committee reported that both districts are to be engaged with the process, which had established the goal of updating the Guam Long Range Plan. And this was to be done by February 2025. So I guess, is this still relevant for us to be a part of, or any discussion?
Say that again, please.
02351.
So the question was whether this committee, the Soil and Water Conservation District Long Range Planning Committee, is still relevant to us. I'm assuming yes, but who will be the lead for this committee?
You're talking about a strategic planning committee.
The long range, the long range planning committee.
Yeah, they call it long range, but it's strategic planning committee. The strategic planning committee is actually normally the chair that takes the lead on that, because they're the one that looks at the long range of the organization and go from there. So you have your short term, which is 1 year, and then your long term, which is 3 to 5 years. And so in the planning, you do the 3 to 5 years, which is within our election action, and normally the chair takes the lead on that, because he coordinates with the other chair to make sure that whatever action is once moved forward with both organization moves both, and he needs that emphasis with the chair.
Great. Okay. Thanks for clarification. Okay. So I will go ahead and so I will keep this committee relevant for us, and I'll take lead on it. And I'll get with Jenilyn to well, actually, we're gonna need to look at the budget, the fiscal year 27 budget, with the Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District before we submit something. We want to make sure that there's these committee leads for Stewardship Week, and also part of the working group, because part of this is also to look at we want a committee lead for Stewardship Week and the local working group, which I believe is well, okay, wait, was it scheduled for December 1st? So Stewardship Week and local working group, and the Guam, so this is for the GACD, so the Guam Association of Conservation Districts. The meeting is scheduled for December 1st. So we wanted to make sure that to identify who are the committee leads for Stewardship Week and the local working group. All right. So I will then take lead for the long range planning committee. Okay. So let's see. Okay, number 3. I think in our last board meeting, we did discuss that all board directors are to complete the ethics training no later than December 1st. So that's like less than a month away. Right after the completion of the ethics training, we will then move towards having the education committee, or I'm sorry, education training for the no later than January 1st. So did everyone receive the ethics training, the notice, or the link?
Yeah.
The email. Right. Did everyone receive the email?
I did.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm working
Great,
on mine.
wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, if you could complete it by December 1st, I think it would be great. It would be a smooth transition for all of us to roll into the next training, which is the overall Stonewater the Northern Guam Stonewater District educational training. So this is for the board and staff members to complete this no later than January 2nd. Okay? Are we all good on this?
Can we make sure that it's the ethics document is submitted over to our district manager to make sure she submits it up to, because she has to submit this over to the ethics commission, and the governor is saying that we've completed all this work,
Certainly.
or rather we're certified in the ethics portion.
Agreed. Okay. So Jenilyn, you got that noted down? Yep. Okay. Great. So let's
Speaking of the ethics, because it's ethics training, when is the board training going to occur? Because that's a requirement by law. We only have, I think it's 90 days or 120 days from the time that we were sworn in.
Correct. Yes, 120 days. Yeah. So we were sworn in, if I'm not mistaken, September. So September 3rd, 120 days from then. So that would be January 2nd. So that means, Mr. Joe, that means then, I believe on our last meeting, we discussed that the board staff educational training, was to be conducted. Was it together? I'm sorry. Was it supposed to be together as a group, or was it supposed to be separate, or in person or virtual?
It's supposed to be done in person, and normally it's done away from everything. An example is, I think the last time we had it at a hotel. We rented out a room. We turned around and just went to the restaurant and ate there and then came back. But the minimum is 4 hours for the training. Maximum is 8 hours. So we have to set aside a time when we're going to do the training and then we coordinate with some of the experts to come in, and like the legal side of the house, because the procurement aspect, we need to make sure we're aware of that. But there's other things within the board education training that we're required to have. And so, again, it's minimum of 4 hours, maximum of 8.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and, shall we, take this time to set a date and a time? And then venue would be discussed. Well, I'll work it out with Jenilyn to look at a venue. But can we set up a date and time, or we can add this to our next meeting agenda? When's our next meeting? I'm sorry.
December 9.
December 9 is our next.
I think what we need to do is we just need to.
Remember, you can't do it. I'm sorry, you can't do it next meeting, because the issue you have is you're going to have to coordinate if you're doing it offsite and for space, and you have to coordinate with the individuals. So you need to give the staff time to do that.
So let's decide now, because otherwise we're dealing also with the budget. Because I think we need to be okay. So can we set up a date now? That way, when we set a date, and because obviously the board is also going to have to approve the need to put some funding aside for venue. Am I right? Is that right? So can we get a date? Did everyone take a look at your calendars? So sometime in December, right? Because we're expecting all board members to complete the agenda, to complete their ethics training by December 1st. So that means we have between December 1st to January 2nd. So I would expect, because it's over the holiday season, I would like us to set up a date, a meeting date and time where all of us can attend in person. Anybody have suggestions on a date? Anybody that's going to be leaving in December? Let's start off with that. Anyone leaving in December? Board members?
Not me.
Okay. So Bill is clear. Joe?
I'm clear. I think we're all clear. We just need to make sure we pick a date that's there, but the staff needs to coordinate with it, because remember, you're headed into holidays, and so finding a place is going to be difficult. So the staff needs to coordinate where the location. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Once you coordinate the location, then we're going to have to get board approval to.
No, we don't, because it's a requirement by law. But we just have to vote on it now to say that, because of the requirement for board training, that we authorize the expenditure of funds to coordinate for the board meeting and the engagement of other individuals to be present there, and you direct the staff to do that.
Okay. So
Chair, can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
So when you're going to make reservations for any type of event, especially since it's around the holidays, let's get the staff to first call the venues, but give us 2 days and time that is available for the hotels, and then we can choose which 2 date time plus which venue it is that's available. Because right now, to be honest with you, a lot of companies have already made reservations for their Christmas events. So I think what we need to do is get the staff to call a few venues and find out who's available and then what 2 days they're available at that particular venue and time, and then get that back to you, and then we could definitely I guess approve it over your chat or whatever communication you choose, and then they can make the reservations then.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. And I think what would be best, considering that the time frame that these venues are going to be booked so quickly over the holidays. I think we're going to have to, I'm going to ask the staff if they can communicate with us via WhatsApp, and that way we can all approve on WhatsApp if the date and the venue meets our all of our availabilities. Are we all good with that then?
Can I just inject into that? Remember, we're having it from 9 to 12, minimum 4 hours, right? So it's going to be 9 in the morning to 12. Even though it's the holiday thing, it's not going to be as booked as we think it's going to be, because most people have their events in the afternoon or evening, not necessarily in the morning time. So when we have our stuff 9 to 4, minimum 4 hours, we meet the requirements and we're good to go on that. We just need the staff. We just need to motion to have the staff coordinate and come back to you, the chair, as to the time and date that's available for us to meet during that time frame, and authorize the expenditure of funds to go ahead and host that required event.
Sounds good. So, can we make the motion? Can you make the motion to have the staff finalize the oh boy, sorry, I'm trying to get used to this repeating what has been. So finalize the staff finalize the venue and dates for the Guam Soil and Water Conservation District Education Training. Does that sound right?
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Motion set forth by Mr. Director Joe. Anybody second?
Second.
Great. Both Norma and Frank seconded. All right.
Aye.
So, okay, I believe we're all good with this. Okay, moving forward. Treasurer's. Turn this to Frank, Director Frank.
Okay. I believe that Jenilyn posted our balances for the checking account, and right, Jenilyn?
Yes, I sent you the balances for the savings and checking.
Great.
Would you like to report out on the amounts for the meeting minutes?
Did you guys get it?
No, I didn't get it.
Jenilyn, can you make sure that Mr. Director Bill gets one?
Yes,
I think she posted it on everybody's chat, from my understanding.
I only
just
sent
to
it
me?
Yes, because you are a treasurer and it's for treasurer's report. So you could state it on your end to report to the board.
Okay.
Would you like to read it?
Do you need the numbers, or can Jenilyn post it to the others so I don't have to repeat it, because I have to look through it on my phone?
Okay.
Please.
Okay. I'll have Jenilyn share the numbers with me, and I can repeat it for the purpose of this meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so treasurer's report. Okay, give me just a moment. All right. It says that in our savings we have $11,418.59. That's in our savings account. In our checkings account, we have $23,923.81. And this is as of November 4th, 2025. Any comments, concerns, questions? Otherwise, we can move forward to the committee reports.
We only have one checking account?
Yes, only one checkings account and one savings account.
Wow.
Same bank.
Same bank?
Same bank. The
Same
checking and
bank,
savings are joint.
Okay. We need to look into that later on.
I just wanted to add in. Well, I just wanted to add in, clear, because we're still in a bank accounts, right? Correct?
Yes, we're still on.
Okay,
correct.
So I just want to make clear, under our law, the
Sorry, Mr. Joe, you're getting cut off.
our account, even the
Mr.
transfer
Joe.
from savings to checking. So I just want to make sure that
Director Joe, you're getting cut off. We did not get anything you mentioned, anything you said. And you're on mute.
yeah, well, that's it.
Frank is left.
Frank, who?
Your CSAP. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mr. Joe.
Did you get what I said? Yes?
Oh, we did not.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, did you hear what I said about I'm unmuted, right? You guys can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, under
hear you
our
now.
law, under the district's law,
Breaking up again.
Yeah, breaking up again, Mr. Joe.
one that has to be one of the signatories on any of our checks or any action dispersing any money to any account. So I'm saying that one of the things we need to make sure that happens is that we just don't go nilly-willy to any of the board members and sign a check, even though resolution is there. One of the signatories must always be the chair. And that's what I'm bringing up.
Yes, Mr. Joe, I do understand that. I do understand that, yes, under the 5 GCA Chapter 71, specifically on letter K, all payments made payable that's appropriate to the fund shall be kept in a bank account and established by the chairperson of each board district. I do understand that. Yes, the chairperson of the district shall be the certifying officer. I very much understand that.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that any check signed, the certifying officer needs to sign on it. And so we can't just get anybody to, once a check is being dispersed, the chair needs to be one of the signatories of the check.
Correct. Yes, I'm very much aware of that.
Okay. That's it.
Great. Okay. Thank you. All right, let's go. Moving forward.
Chris, can I say something?
Yes, you can, Director Bill. Go ahead.
The 22,000 that we have on there, what's that for?
Okay, $23,923.81. That's our checkings account.
What is it for? What's it earmarked for?
What's it for? So all the funds right now between the savings and checkings are for the operations of the Northern Guam Stormwater Conservation District. So operations, did you want me to identify operations for you?
Well, an example, the $10,000 that we gave UOG. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? What account?
It came specifically the checkings account, I believe. Because since we wrote a $10,000 check to UOG, that check then goes into the checkings account and then given to the university.
Okay, so we're using the one checking account for funding, not putting it in there.
Can I add some clarification and information?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, real quick. When a budget's approved, normally the agency submits the listing of what the budget, what the legislature authorizes for us to expend on, because we're turning around and voting and saying this is what we're going to agree to spend on. From there, the priority of effort is always you pay first your staff and then your operations. Anything else is the board's discretion as to how they want to expend the money. Bottom line is you just can't turn around and say we're going to spend it for this. Like that $10,000 that was spent, that wasn't in the budget of FY 2026, and the board cannot just vote nilly-willy on saying I approve to go and vote on this particular action, and which is not within the budget, even though the funds are available. Secondly, when we expend money, the priority of effort is always making sure you have money for your staff. The question is, do we have money for the staff? Because there's an issue with the federal government, and I don't know if we received any money from the federal government in compensation for the staff. And so when we look at funding, we have to look at all our commitments on there and say, here's the money that's going to be expended for the staff, and then you subtract whatever's there. So whatever's remaining is whatever money we can use in terms of travel, in terms of supporting other organizations. But it has to be one in the budget, second that's approved by the legislature, or at least the board approved and the legislature consented to granting us that money. And then the second part to it is that do we have money for the staff? If we don't have any money for the staff, then we either have to lay off staff or we have to turn around and cut back on what we're going to expend the money on. And so this is where the treasurer comes in and gives a recommendation as to how much money can be expended, what we have, and what money can be expended for what. Because I don't think we received any money yet from the federal government to reimburse the staff of the funding that we're right now currently expending on. So before we do anything with the budget, we need to first, the treasurer needs to come back and tell us where we're at and give us a picture of where we're at and what's going to happen in the future. Because if we just dilly-willy expend like that $10,000 we expended when we didn't have the money we don't really have that money to expend on that $10,000. That's why the last board did not vote on that event, because the money is really not there. We were uncertain as to the legislature granting us the money
Director Joe?
There was a lot of lobbying going on. But anyways, that's where I'm at.
Director Joe, can I say something? Hello?
Go ahead, Director Frank. Yes.
Okay, my understanding when I was told by you guys that I'm supposed to issue a check to Jenilyn, it was supposed to be only for $5,000. And then the day that Jenilyn picked up the checkbook and checkbook record from me, she advised me that the amount was $10,000, which I didn't understand from the get go, but now it's coming back to haunt me because now Director Joe is saying that we don't have the money. So I'm confused on who to follow.
Okay, Treasurer, what I'm saying is that you need to look at the account, look at how much expenditure we have for each month for employees, what was approved on the budget, and then come back to the board and tell the board where we're at in our fiscal fiduciary responsibility of expending the money wisely. Because we may more than likely we may not have enough to pay for the staff. And we need to look at it all the way to the end of the year or until we get funding from the federal side of the house. And did we, the district manager, did we get money from NACD and from the federal government in terms of funding? If we didn't, then there's a problem there because right now we're paying out of pocket, out of the general fund, we're paying our employees. I don't think we're paying it out of the grant money. So we need to find out exactly where we're at in our account.
Okay.
Yes. So this is actually placed in the old business. If you look at the old business for fiscal year 26 budget draft review, this was tabled from our last meeting. The budget was sent to the board members in the last meeting. Have you guys reviewed the budget from the last meeting? Because in that last budget, it does talk about what we wanted to focus on the funding in regards to what programs and what the board would like to make the recommendations for the budget. So that was, I don't know if you guys received the budget from Jenilyn?
Nope.
Yeah, I reviewed the budget. The bottom line is we were only funded 50% of what we asked for. Now we need to take that 50% and the board needs to approve within that 50% of money how much we're going to expend for each category of funds. We haven't done that. The treasurer needs to come back to us and tell us how we can wisely expend or where we're at in our total picture of fiscal constraint and how much money we have and what we're going to last all the way to the money is expended. Remember, we only get quarterly funding from Department of Administration, and the focus of the Department of Administration when they fund us money is to pay out only salaries. So it's not to pay out for the programs; it's to pay out for the salaries, and then whatever's remaining on the salaries we give to the budget. We give to the remaining programs that we need to fund. So we need to find out from the treasurer where we at in terms of what was approved in the budget. We have to cut it by 50%, and then are we agreed upon at the board? Is that what we're going to expend for the remaining portions of the fiscal year? And do we have enough money for the employees? And that's really, we haven't got that back yet. So we need to get that information back from the treasurer, and hopefully that can happen soon. So we'll know how much money we can expend and who can we send, literally on the next, whatever event that's going to be off island, and whatever event is in the near future.
So which director? Me now or Director Cap?
No, it's you, the treasurer. You're the treasurer.
Okay, I understand that, but nobody has given me any follow up or direct saying how much money is where, other than
Okay.
Jenna Lynn and Director Chris.
But you
All
can
right.
go into the account. You have the authority right now, from my understanding, to go into the bank, go into our account, look at our account, and say this how much money we have in our account, and then see where we're at in the future relative to our budget. Our budget for fiscal year, it's just October, right? So fiscal year, or it's now beginning November. So fiscal year 2026 has just begun. We have a month already elapsed. Where are we at in the remaining 11 or 10 months in terms of expenditure?
Great. Director Joe, thank you. Thank you for this. So moving forward, Director Frank, would you have, are you available this Friday to meet in regards to looking at the budget draft review?
Yes.
All right. Let's go ahead and set a meeting for 10 o'clock a.m. on Friday. You and I can sit down and discuss the remaining, so looking at the balance and looking at the remaining fiscal year and look at the outlook for the rest of this fiscal year. So, okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the comments and the feedback on this. This is extremely helpful, and especially to our staff. Okay, that's so, and that kind of takes care of the old business for this board meeting. If you take a look at the old business for fiscal year 26 budget draft review, that's exactly what we had discussed. So moving forward, Director Frank and myself will be looking at the budget draft review. Great. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to committee reports. I believe that also for the committee reports, that does take care of the budget and finance committee side of the house. So if you take a look at Part A, where it's Education and Outreach Committee, I don't think we had so we only had an alternate. I'm sorry, we only had a lead for the Education and Outreach Committee. And I believe that was Director Norma. We did not identify a co-lead for the Education and Outreach Committee.
Can I provide input?
Yes, please.
Okay, one is there are generally four standing committees. And within those four standing committees, you have a primary and alternate that works towards dealing with those. Those committees deal with whatever they link into the external committees, then they tie into those external committees, and that's where they get also collaterally appointed to those external committees. There are generally just four standing committees. You don't have all these other committees because you're going to overwhelm the board. So you have governance, policy and governance, but it's actually governance doesn't matter because a policy is drawn out of governance. You have education and outreach, which is dealing with not only education but dealing with our registry. And then what are the other two that you guys have there? Facilities or what? What is it? What are the other committees? Operations is not a standing committee issue, or that's not a committee. It literally, that's operations is operations. You're operating. But what other committees are there? I don't have the agenda on me. I'm sorry, I'm driving. So what are the two others? Budget and finance.
Budget.
That's one committee. What's the other? What's the last one? First one or second one?
I think you just mentioned all four. Education and outreach, that's one.
Okay.
Relations Committee, it's 2. Budget and Finance Committee is 3. Policy and Governance Committee is 4. And then we have other committees.
So those other committees are committees that are linked to being members of those standing committees. Because on the rubber rules of order, you have standing committees. Those are committees that you normally would have in any organization that you have to make sure that you move forward on there. So whatever those 4 committees are, those are the 4 committees that you deal with, and then you have at least 2 individuals, 1 primary, one alternate to that committee, and then any other external committee, like for instance the NACD committee, then those are normally the chair's prerogative. Like for instance the legislative committee that we're involved in with the NACD, that's within the what do you call it again? The chair's prerogative as to who's going to be there. Normally the North and the South has primary and alternate to that. So next year in February, we're going to vote for a new legislative committee representative, and then the South will take the lead and the North will be the alternate within there. But we appoint somebody to be that. Other than that, we shouldn't make it too. We're a small organization. We shouldn't make it just too cumbersome for our organization to operate, because we only can do only so much. That's it. I'm almost there at DPW. I'm gonna walk into another meeting, so I'm involved in another meeting. I'm sorry. I'm just too many meetings overlap.
It's okay, Joe. At least you're not the one leaving Guam. So in the next hour or so. So don't worry. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward to new business. Let's go to the NACD annual meeting. Considering looking at our budget outlook for a fiscal year, we really need to identify who will be attending the annual meeting in February. I don't know. Is this something that we wanted to table until later because of the fiscal year 26 budget draft review is going to be reviewed this Friday. So the 80th annual meeting, the NACD 80th annual meeting is scheduled for February 15th to the 19th. Now generally the board and staff must be arriving at least 2 days before the conference. And just looking at the overall costs, we're looking at registration, which is $499. That's the early bird. That's before December 19. Now, looking at registration, looking at per diem, meals and incidentals, and the flight, the flight from Guam to San Antonio, the estimated cost per person is actually a little bit over $5,000. So it's about $5,200. So we need to identify who will
Could I make a suggestion? I agree that you need to postpone any decision made until you review the finances, so you can come back to the board and tell the board that we have the money.
Great.
And I move that we postpone this action until we determine if funds are the availability of our funds and where are we at.
Okay, I second that motion. Okay.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So, okay, now let's move forward with the approval of the district staff positions. So the overview of the position descriptions were approved by the previous board. We are still looking for approval from this board, for the current positions of the district staff. So again, starting with Jenilyn Albanaz, to remain the district manager, but also she has became the district grant writer as well. She does require the grant writing training, pending evaluation from myself and from the previous chairman. And then we have Savannah Garcia. So we're looking to promote her from conservation technician to special projects coordinator. Now keep in mind that also that we are waiting for the NIFWIC grant that was submitted several months ago. And this will help fund her position, so we don't have to tap into the general fund. The project is the NACD, I believe it's the Pacific Southwest Region meeting. So that is her first project. Can we make the motion to approve?
I move to approve the salary and funding of all the positions within the Northern District of our 4 employees, and to make sure that Miss Savannah Garcia gets the raise commensurate with the grant that we're going to receive.
Great. All right. Do we have a second motion?
Second that.
All right. Motion was seconded by Director Norma Castellan. First motion by Director Joe Santos. All right. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Chair, I just want to make one comment. So the strategic plan, Jenilyn, don't we have the previous strategic plan that the prior board worked on? Just provide that to the current chair.
Yes, will do.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much, Director Norma. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. The long range plan is actually, and the local working group documents are in the binders.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So we have not voted yet. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, the ayes have it. All right. Let's go and move on to miscellaneous matters. Do you have anything anyone wants to bring up?
I do.
Great. Go ahead, Director. Director Bill?
Yeah, on the last report we had, I guess it was on the joint with the Southern. We had report that we did a full week of feral pigs outreach. Is that correct?
I can clarify that on that, Director Bill. So the full week of that was for the perimeter fencing grant. So
Yes.
we were with NRCS before the shutdown. We scheduled a perimeter fencing grant site visits with all our farmers that were as part of the initial process. So that's one of the accomplishments we did before we had, there's still more that we need to do, but we did initiate those site visits to all those farmers that were approved and completed their application process.
And that was just 7,
Yes.
right?
There were some that had dropped, but the funding currently for the perimeter fencing grant is on pause. I know Southern had reported on their board meeting that they're still conducting it, but even their funds have been paused and site visits are paused because we cannot conduct mapping because we have to use NRCS programs and their own system to be able to finalize all of that. So until
But do we have any waiting lists?
we do have a waiting list of over 40 individuals.
Okay. Can we have those published?
We can send the link to the group chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, because we had a form. Yes, it's an Excel sheet and a Google form for those who are interested. So we do have over 40 individuals already, not including the ones who have been approved. And so the process is if a farmer or rancher drops out, then we contact the waiting list based on the time that they had submitted their application or of the wait list of interest.
Okay. That's it.
Great. All right. Anybody else? Okay, let's go ahead and discuss next meeting. Regular board meeting is going to be December 9th, 2025. Partnership meeting. The partner meeting is December 16th, 2025. All right.
Oh, I forgot one thing. The most important one. How about our travel claims? What's happening with those?
Yeah, so I had reviewed all of them, and once we get with Director Frank this Friday, we can go ahead and again, this was tabled from the last meeting, right? So this meeting for this Friday, we'll go ahead and review with Director Frank and write the checks from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. I call the meeting to adjourn at 3:03 p.m. Thank you, board members. Have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Safe travels.
Safe trip. Safe travel.
Thank you.
Yes.